Dr. David Schnarch. I'm the author of Passionate Marriage and Sexual Crucible and Resurrecting Sex, and most recently, the author of Intimacy and Desire, which was just released. And the way that the human race has evolved, it is virtually guaranteed that sex is going to die in emotionally committed relationships. And you can either bail out or tell yourself you picked the wrong person, and if you just found the right person, they'd love all your flaws, and no matter what you did, they'd just think that you're the bee's knees. And that's the picture most of us have, we're supposed to have in childhood, but that's not marriage. Marriage, people get fed up with you leaving your socks on the floor and having all your little habits, and they get tired of telling you that you're wonderful and propping you up, and they want you to stand on your own two feet and be a whole man or be a whole woman. And we usually get angry about that kind of stuff. It doesn't fit our picture. You know, we sort of have the picture of while we're single, I have to take care of myself. Once I get married, you ought to take me any old way I am. That's known as loving me. And one of the things sex and marriage and intimacy will teach you is love is not accepting you any old way you are. When people get married, you get married for better and worse and sickness and in health, but that's not an excuse to screw off, get sloppy, get fat, and not take care of yourself and not be an interesting person. And so sex invariably dies. And if we move on to your next question, that's really the answer to why sex dies. All around the world where rape is not allowed, and women are allowed control of their own body, all around the world from time immemorial, it is the low desire partner that always controls sex. Now, you might think God's passive aggressive or Mother Nature has a sense of humor. Maybe what she should have done is made the person who wants sex the most the person who's in charge. And the high desire partner says, let's have sex. And the low desire partner says, aye, aye, sir, just whatever you say, that's what goes. And it doesn't work that way. So what happens is most of us are going through the struggle of, I want to be with you, but don't tell me what to do. And because the low desire partner controls sex, when the high desire partner says, let's have sex, and the low desire partner says, well, I'm not so sure. And the high desire partner says, well, then you don't love me enough. That's the end of sex. When it gets to be, prove that you love me, do it my way. And the high desire partner says, well, why do we always have to do it your way? And the low desire partner says, well, why do we always have to do it your way? You are now in the middle of what happens to all of us that none of us ever anticipate. You are in the middle of the wars of self-development. And that's what marriage is about. Marriage is about growing up and getting to the point that you can love somebody on life's terms. And in the middle of that, sex dies. And couples go through very often months or years of not having sex, which nobody who's 18 years old ever believes. You know, you get married because you can have sex all the time. You're even living with them. They're very convenient. And that's not the way that it works. So what we're really describing is what made the human brain evolve, where the low desire partner controls sex, the high desire partner doesn't like that, and the high desire partner has to learn to control themselves, because when the high desire partner says, you know what, you're just as controlling as your mother, that basically does not usually inspire high desire or lubrication in your partner. So you have to learn to control yourself. This also teaches you to be considerate of your partner and not act like they belong to you. And getting over the idea that your partner doesn't belong to you is a tough one. It sounds great when you first get married. We belong to each other. Well, that's as good as long as you're cutting the cake. 2 years in, when your partner acts like your genitalia belongs to them, believe me, it does not inspire passion. And when you go through the way that marriage really works, which beats out of you the idea that your partner either belongs to you or always supposed to put your needs first, then you become a solid enough person. You earn your own self-respect. You earn each other's self-respect. That's what ignites passion. Self-respect is one of the best aphrodisiacs there is, but that's not what you get when you're first in the mad, passionately in love with each other stage. Lots of couples start out at the same level, but within 2 years it gets polarized. And I'm picking 2 years. For some couples, it's 6 months. For some couples, it's as soon as they move in together. And yes, on most issues in a marriage, there's always a low desire partner and a high desire partner. So for instance, you could be the low desire partner to have sex and the high desire partner to have a baby. Also, it's not uncommon for people to switch roles. So for instance, I mentioned that in about half the couples, the woman is the high desire partner. I've seen a number of couples where they start out, the woman is the high desire partner. She's been a good girl. She figured, I'll wait until I get into this committed relationship and then I'll let it all hang out. And she's ready to go. And lo and behold, she turns out to be partnered with a guy who doesn't want it as long as or as frequently as she does. And she becomes the low desire partner with a vengeance. So people very often switch roles. So the person who starts out to be the high desire partner may end up being the low desire partner at a later point in the relationship. And what it points out is we're not talking about childhood or personality. So for instance, let's say you like to have sex 3 times a week. And in your first relationship, you're partnered with someone who wants sex 5 times a week. Well, you want it 3 times a week and you're the low desire partner. You get divorced, you partner up with somebody who wants it once a week. You still only want it 3 times a week. That hasn't changed, but now you're the high desire partner. So high desire partner and low desire partner, we're not talking about absolute frequency. It's positions in a relationship. And there is a high desire partner and a low desire partner on virtually every issue, whether it's having sex or having sex with your eyes open or closed, or having a baby, or having your spouse's mother-in-law move in with you, or switching careers, or making more money. There is usually a high desire partner and a low desire partner. And on many, many issues in marriage, if what you're interested is collaboration, the low desire partner runs the show.